Y'all know what this is? Who these people are? I'm not gonna say who it is. If you know, you know, but I guess I can give y'all a hint. Thank you for being a friend. Hey girl. Hello, my beautiful Taurus. How are you doing? My name is SimplyVelca, and I'm going to be doing your weekly love message between you and your soulmate, Taurus. Now, put it in perspective. I'm just a man reading you some tarot cards, so take the cards that resonate and leave what doesn't, Taurus, because I promise you I'm not going to be offended by it. I also do your general weekly reading for your zodiac sign, Taurus, which I'll leave the link to over here if you want to check that out later. But yeah, in this reading, let me know if you do find a card that resonates with you. I always love hearing your aha moments. That's how I keep up with y'all, is through the comments. Also, be sure if you do enjoy my reading style, I always am super appreciative, Taurus, when you guys take the time to give me a like and subscribe, because it does help out my channel a lot. And yeah, in this reading, Taurus, keep in mind, I'm not here to make the decision for you. I'm just here to give you some perspective through tarot cards. We're going to dive into the energies of what's going on with you, what's going on with them, the energy and some advice from spirit, you know, but you are the one that has to ultimately make the final decision on what you want to do with this. This is me just giving you a perspective of what's going on potentially this week if this reading does resonate with you. So, Taurus, let's just jump into this reading now, shall we? On your side of things, we have the Balance card, Archangel Zadkiel, number 14, equaling to number 5. So write that down for numerology, Taurus. This card says the need for balance, cooperation, and compromise. It also, quite literally on the card, says wait for the perfect timing. So, Taurus, maybe there's been a level of impatience, perhaps, when it comes to this connection. Maybe you want them to come to you sooner, I'm getting, or maybe you want things to just happen quicker as well, because we do have the 8 of air coming in as the energy between y'all. And this card says an illusion of being trapped, a lack of self-confidence, and afraid to take action. So maybe you feel as if this is the energy of what's going on between y'all. You feel as if maybe they're afraid to take action. Maybe you also acknowledge you're afraid to take action as well, right? We have to hold ourselves accountable. We can't just rely on the other person to reach out to us. Maybe it's time for us to take matters into our own hands, because the overall energy is the Magician card, where it's like the master of their own universe, right? So you have to ultimately make the decision for what you want out of life and take the action towards that, right, Taurus? You can say you want something, but it doesn't quite make sense to say that you want something if your actions aren't reflective of that, right? We have the 2 of fire on their side, Taurus. And this card says this is more so talking about them coming into their own. This is where they kind of are in this place where they're getting slowly a better sense of themselves. I feel almost as if this Magician card is almost maybe on their side of things, Taurus, letting me know that they're kind of realizing that they can create something with you, or, you know, and so you read in between the lines. If they were having to get up into this moment of where they're coming into themselves, maybe beforehand they never bothered pursuing you or taking too much action towards you just because of what was going on inside them. Maybe they're feeling a little bit insecure. I have a sneeze coming up, y'all, so hopefully it's not too loud when oh, okay, I think it's going away. But let's just pull some clarifiers in terms of this reading, Taurus, because the messages can change entirely, right? We just have the skeleton of this reading. We're going to start clarifying your card first, the Balance card. What is it that we're waiting for the perfect timing on, you know? Let's tap into this energy a little bit more. So we have the 4 of Wands. The 4 of Wands is that celebration card. It's the 1111 card, right? This is the card that a lot of readers will see this. I mean, this is really the card you want to see when you're wanting that like marriage with somebody, right? Because usually in other decks, which I always will do this, so I guess I'll take the time to start searching for the card now while I'm speaking for you. But in this deck, actually, the Mystical Manga deck, Taurus, the 4 of Wands is it depicts a couple looking like they're about to get married, right? So this is letting me know of perhaps if you're wanting that long-term with them. Here it is. If you look at the imagery of this one, you see this as like the marriage thing. So maybe this is spirit kind of giving you a heads up of being like, hey, have some patience at this time when it comes to this. You can't rush something like this, that kind of deep commitment, right? If they're not ready, especially if they're still in this process, Taurus, keep in mind of where they're still trying to figure themselves out. You don't want someone to commit to you when they don't know what's going on with themselves. They don't know how to, like, they don't know the person who they are to even say that they can commit to you, right? They don't know, you know, what is committing to you, right? They don't know the person that's doing that, right? Give some patience to them. We have the Four of Swords because, you know, if you don't continue on with this, if you don't practice that patience, if you don't wait for the perfect timing, I feel like even if you are in this energy right now, Taurus, where you're in your head, you're experiencing a little bit of just like pain and just disappointment, you know, those like sleepless nights and just kind of being like, oh, why don't they care about me? Why are they not reaching out to me? Why don't they love me, right? All those questions that pertain to the heart and having that bruised ego, that bruised that bruised heart that I was trying to show you. I feel like this is really a time, Taurus, for you this week to potentially just shift your mindset and just accept that things are not going to go by your time schedule, right? Five of Wands, because you're going to continuously have this conflict with yourself. I feel like if you do not put this in perspective, if you don't rein this in a little bit, right? Because I feel like I'm seeing this as somebody, Taurus, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I see this as an individual who is going along with a narrative, a negative narrative, and really allowing their thoughts and their lives to be consumed by this. They are going through it's just like this constant, like you can't go through your day without getting in your head about this connection, giving you this anxiety, and like, you know, in some ways it feels like you're kind of like penting up some resentment towards this connection just because they're not going off of your time schedules. So even if once this person is ready to connect with you, you may already have like mentally checked out because you just weren't willing to wait for them. You weren't being patient with them. And so by the time they come, you already like went through like 10 different fights in your head with them about this, but they don't know that. They don't know what's going on in your head, right? Because again, Two of Fire energy, they've been trying to just get a better sense of the self. So let's get into their energy a little bit more. Let's get some clarifiers on that. We have the Six of Swords, so they're moving on from something. Some of them I did hear they may be moving on from some type of, I don't want to say past relationship. I don't feel like it was actually that. I do feel like it's kind of like an energy. Maybe they had their eyes on somebody at one point, but they felt like they were out of their league, right? And so they kind of had to, maybe there's some like residual emotions attached to something else that just didn't work out for whatever reason, right? That was just an example because it shows, like, I'm just reflecting off of the Two of Fire energy where it's like they don't have that much confidence in themselves. But the Six of Swords also is somebody who initially walked away but is coming back around, right? So it could be either or energy with this. We have the Nine of Pentacles. So this is confirming to me they went on their journey, right, to get a better sense of themselves, to find themselves. They went on their own soul-seeking journey, whatever you want to call that, right? And they accomplished this. This Nine of Pentacles is showing to me whatever, like, even if they walked away, even if they, initially, when there was an opportunity for y'all to engage, Taurus, and they chose to not engage with you because they wanted to focus on themselves, this Nine of Pentacles with this Two of Fire is confirming to me that they were successful and they were being serious about wanting to put energy into themselves before they jump into anything else, right? I'm really getting some like wholesome energy on their side. I really don't feel like there's any like malevolent thoughts here. Three of Pentacles is showing to me that they think highly of you, Taurus. They want to be able to have something here with you, but again, this goes back to, even if they want to be with you with this Three of Pentacles, that some of them, they may even just like, again, feel like they're putting you on a pedestal, so they feel like you are out of their league, Taurus. You kind of have to just be patient and realize, like, even if you think they're so great and wonderful, that doesn't mean that they themselves think they're great and wonderful, right? So let's get into they eventually have to make the choice that they want you and start engaging with you, right? Because this overall, again, the energy is the Magician card, which is, I feel like, taking matters into your own hands on both sides. But let's get into this Eight of Air energy where it's talking about the illusion of being trapped and afraid to take action. I feel like I already kind of know why they're afraid to take action, but let's see what's going on with you. we have the Five of Swords. So I feel like both parties, I mean, naturally, if they feel like you are out of their league, Taurus, they're going to be in their head. But I feel like you're in head about this, you're in your head about this connection as well, Taurus. I'm going to be honest here. If you haven't connected, if you yourself haven't reached out to them because you're just being stubborn, because you feel like they should reach out to you, you don't want to be the one to double text or what have you, get out of your head, Taurus. If you want this connection, if you really want to manifest this, get out of your head. Like, do that double text, swallow your pride a little bit. How badly do you want this connection, sort of thing, I guess is the question to ask. If it's, make the final decision of being like, is it worth it or is it not worth it, right? But you can't continue going into this limbo, going in circles. I'm seeing with this Seven of Swords, I see you just constantly going into this, like, repeating the same pathways in this maze because you are so insistent. Instead of taking notes of the paths that you already taken, you're just like, nah, you got this, right? It's just like, no, maybe you could practice a little bit more responsibility when it comes to handling this. We have the Strength card. So yeah, I feel like this is definitely... You can't continue doing what it is that you have been doing, Taurus, and expect different results, is what I'm getting. So if you want this connection, if you want to manifest this, that's great. That's wonderful, Taurus, right? I see from their perspective that they really are about healing themselves and taking care of themselves, you know? They're balancing out this really, like, it's a very nice grounded energy on their side of things. And so... maybe they're not working at the pace that you want to have them working at, Taurus, but at the same time, you know, is their pace not quick enough for you? You know, it's kind of one of those decisions of being like, instead of realizing being like, hopefully this reading kind of gives you the question, Taurus, of instead of feeling as if of where they want you or don't want you, it's more of a question of, do you feel like waiting for this person or not? So hopefully this reading was helpful in some type of way, Taurus. Again, if it was, be sure to give me a like and subscribe, but hopefully sometime in the future I can provide another reading to you. I love you so much, Taurus. Bye.